Hello, everyone. How are you doing today? I was just on a live stream, and then, yeah. So, that's what I went through.
Where's our fire?
So, guys, I do apologize for that. I really do. But, yeah. So, I guess we're going to be doing this again because, when you got that happening, I don't know what else I was supposed to do. So we're just gonna start that over again. Let's just let's talk about this. So, as I said in the last one, basically the recovering Hunbot had shared on her Instagram, again, go subscribe to her, this amazing article that says that basically the FTC is saying that online social media scams have tripled. They have tripled. So I'm I would like to take a look at this because this is just not good. With the coronavirus happening, my intro in the first one was so much better before the fire alarm went off. But with coronavirus happening and the pandemic right now, all of these companies have been basically uh, using the coronavirus to, you know, sell their MLMs. And so the FTC finds that social media scams have more than tripled within the last year. This is an article by the USA Herald, the People's Voice, and it was posted on the 19th of November, so it's decently new. And it says here that data from the Federal Trade Commission's Consumer Sentinel Network shows social media scams have more than tripled within the last year, with a dramatic increase in the number of cases occurring in Q2 of 2020. Fraudulent activity on social media platforms has noticeably increased in recent years, reaching 134 million in 2019 alone. That said, 2020 is on track to break all previously held records, with $117 million stolen within the first 6 months. Roughly 9,000 reports were sent to the FTC over fraudulent activity in Q1 2020. That number dramatically increases to nearly 16,000 by Q2. Social media platforms are hotspots for scamming activity. At the top of the FTC's report sits e-commerce sites that fail to deliver on purchased goods, a type of scam that has become increasingly prevalent throughout the pandemic. And this is something that absolutely makes my head hurt. The fact that scams go, oh, we're in a pandemic, now seems a great time to strike. I mean, of course they do. When this was originally posted and I saw it shared by the recovering Hunbot on Instagram, my first thought was, of course. And then my second thought was, what assholes? So, you know, multi-level marketing is a social media scam. I know a lot of people out there want to believe it's a business opportunity, but you have a better chance of winning the lottery. You have a better chance of hitting jackpot at the casino than you do of making it in one of these businesses Therefore, yes, social media scam, pyramid scheme. I think that a lot of us anti-MLM advocates out here are a little bit shy to call it that. And I understand why. You know, some people say that if you straight up call it a pyramid scheme, then the people out there that semi support it, who you might be trying to reach for the advocacy and awareness, they might not be as inclined to come and watch you. However, my thing's a little bit like, but they are pyramid schemes. So I think we have to be honest about what MLMs are. Some of the issue out here is that, you know, these companies lie to you, first of all. So I don't know. As an advocate, I feel like we have to be honest that multi-level marketing is a pyramid scheme with products. It's basically like if these companies, you know, they found the loophole. Sorry. I was just making sure my everything was good, you know, and then it starts playing in the background. People are like, "Who's this bitch screaming? She's just so bad." So so I just want to be honest and say, you know, like this is a pyramid scheme with products. These companies basically found a loophole out here, and that's what they use in order to trick the masses into believing that no, it's not a pyramid scheme. It's a business opportunity. And so for me, it's like, I'm just going to call it that. I'm just going to say it. It's a pyramid scheme with a product because, again, if I call it anything else, I feel like I'm almost like playing into that. I'm helping them believe that it's not a pyramid scheme and it's a business opportunity that I just don't like. Because of course the people that, you know, the people in the MLMs, they think we haters. They're like, they just don't like that we're successful. And I'm like, but less than 1% of you are successful. You can't all be successful. The numbers don't add up. But, you know, so we're just going to call it what it is. If you know, you're out there and you're advocating and you don't want to call it that, I'm not saying anything bad about that, just to put that out there. But me personally, I just think that I don't want to play into that in any way, shape, or form. So I call it a pyramid scheme with the loophole of having products. And that's mainly because they'll be like, but we're not a pyramid scheme. We have products. So that's why I throw that in there, you know. So a common factor across all reports is that the majority of them are attributed to social media platforms. Yeah, so obviously the internet has become a very big thing. And similarly, so MLMs go on to social media. They're like, oh, we don't have to go door to door anymore, knocking on doors like when we were with Avon and Cutco back in the day, you know, going door to door to, hi, hi, I'm with Avon and I would like to sell you some perfume. And they'd be like, what, at my door? So, you know, that's what they used to do. And then when social media came out, they were like, oh, now we can do it on social media, which again made it so that then they could reach more people, which was awful for all of us. It's like, no, anyone that doesn't support this, no. And then made it easier for them to prey on everybody. Wonderful. And then the firefighters cut off my internet for 2 seconds. My day just gets better and better and better as we go. Yes, it does. I actually am having a fun day. I've actually been laughing this whole time about all of this. This is making me laugh terribly. So yeah, I'm having a fun day. A fun day. So let's get back into it now. Um, so where were we? So at the top of the FTC's report list sits e-commerce sites. Oh, we already read that. The FTC has found that 94% mention specific platforms like Instagram and Facebook and romance scams. That's right. We were on to romance scams. They increased in the second half of 2020, because apparently I just forgot how to say the year there for a second, with the majority occurring on Facebook and Instagram. Not surprising. I am kind of surprised that like YouTube isn't mentioned though, because as we've been finding out on my channel, there's a lot of Scentsy Huns and a lot of Huns just in general on YouTube. So it's just kind of weird that that one's not mentioned. I would consider that as a social media site. So a lot of these kinds of scams reportedly begin with a message or friend request. As do, the anti-MLM community will tell you the MLM ones do too, so just be wary of that. Another disturbing development found by the FTC is the increasing number of multi-level marketing or pyramid schemes being advertised on social media platforms. Yep, the FTC has tied the increase in activity to the COVID-19 pandemic, saying folks are constantly looking for more ways to earn money. Defining the problem. Ultimately, the crux of the problem is the fact that we heavily rely on social media platforms, which offer scammers low-cost access to millions of potential victims. The many scams that show up on social media may benefit from scammers' low-cost access to entire networks of people. The scammer can hide behind a phony profile, pretend to be someone you know, or even take over a real account. By hiding who they are, they can get into a virtual community you trust, leading you to be more likely to trust them. The FTC report reads. In other words, while beneficial, social media platforms present new risks for consumers who may be used to telemarketers and other phone scams, but not sophisticated shell companies and fake social media profiles. This issue will continue to be of grave importance as time goes on. The question is, will the government be able to offer any tangible solutions? And yeah, we're all still waiting. So let me know what you think about this, about, the FTC letting us all know that these scams have tripled with the coronavirus out here. So here we are at the Federal Trade Commission website. Here it is. Get to know it, please. It's a very good place. I spend a lot of time on here. And so scams starting on social media proliferate in early 2020. And I want you to see this chart in a minute because I feel like it's really going to show you how this goes. I'm probably going to edit this live stream afterwards to take out my internet cutting out because Lord knows I'm having a day, aren't I? So social media can be a great way to connect with friends while the pandemic has you keeping your distance. But reports to FTC's Consumer Sentinel Network suggest that social media websites and apps have become popular hangouts for scammers too. Reports that people lost money to scams that started on social media more than tripled in the past year, with a sharp increase in the second quarter of 2020. With Christmas coming during the pandemic, doesn't surprise me. Reports about scams that started on social media have been increasing for years. In 2019, total reported losses to these frauds reached $134 million. Oh my God. That makes me sad. Like, people out there have been frauded out of $134 million. But reported losses reached record highs, climbing to nearly 117 million in just the first 6 months of 2020. In that time, the reported scams that started on social media often related to online shopping, romance scams, and supposed economic relief or income opportunities. Oh my God, girl, I just absolutely love your profile. Like, I love it. You could be a supermodel. You're so pretty and you really know how to work that social media. Would you like to be a product model for me? All you have to do is buy one of my products and use it. And then you just take a picture of you using it and like send it to me and give me a testimonial and I'll post it on my social media and make a whole bunch of money. Are you in? No. Then you can like join my team. No. No, Karen. Get out, Hunty. I do not want it. Income opportunities. Would you like my income opportunity? Reports about e-commerce sites that don't deliver the goods top the FTC's list. These reports skyrocketed with the pandemic. Sorry. Now I need a drink. That was like a suit noise. Jesus. Why does he talk like that all the time? Oh. So, nearly 1 in 4 reports to the FTC mentioned a social media hook. Interesting, isn't it? People mention Facebook or Instagram in 94% of reports that identified a specific platform. In other words, as long as you stay off Facebook or Instagram, you should be decently okay and not have to hear from the hunbots or scammers. So, I mean, I guess that's kind of good news. I'm not a big fan of Facebook. I have a lot of fun on Instagram, though. You can add me on Instagram at Beth Queen of Spade. So, basically, yeah, everybody's getting ripped off on social media sites. And the funny thing is, the next sentence makes my head spin because it says many saying they ordered after seeing an ad. Now, fortunately, I don't think Instagram does a lot. I know they're owned by like the same place. I know, but I don't see a lot of sponsored MLM ads on Instagram, like from Instagram, that like actual app. But what you will see a lot of on Facebook and Instagram is you can sponsor your own posted ad. So if you have like a Facebook group, like how I do or like a page, like how I do for my YouTube, then what you can do is you can do a post and then you can pay to kind of like get it to reach a bunch more people or whatever. And it's a sponsored ad and it will pop up to, everyone. You can even do it for like everyone in your hometown that logs on to Facebook that day, gets your post or whatever. So I do see a lot of that. That doesn't mean, though, that Facebook or Instagram are promoting MLMs. I just do have to put that out there. It means that whoever is in the MLM is posting and then sponsoring their ad. And Instagram and Facebook, unfortunately, don't do that great of a job of vetting it. So they might not catch that it's like a scam that's being sponsored and sent out to everybody. So it just kind of goes out, right? It's like, oh, you got the money? All right, we'll promote your sponsored ad. So I mean, that's kind of where they could get better in this. That would help us out a lot there, Facebook and Instagram, if you want to get on finding a way to like stop promoting all of the MLMs or scams out here. That would be great. But it is hard for them, and we also have to take into consideration that during the pandemic they're also short on staff, just like YouTube has been, and etc. So it's going to be even harder. So, and then there's more posts during that time. So, I don't have to explain that to you. I feel like you get what I'm saying. So there's going to be a lot more sponsored posts from these hunts just going out everywhere. It's harder for them to vet it. And none of this surprises me. But I did have to put it out there that it doesn't mean it's them promoting it because, but again, they could do something to help a little bit more. So, these scam ads look real and can be carefully targeted to reach a particular audience. Like I was just basically saying, the scammers can delete comments on their ads or posts so that negative responses don't show up and alert people to the con, which a lot of us do. I will be honest, a lot of the people in the anti-MLM community, if we see an MLM sponsored ad, we will don't pop off in the comments, by the way. Don't show up and be like, oh my God, this is a scam. Nobody sign up for this, because it's just not a good way to go about it. Okay? I deal with people accordingly, but just don't do that. So here's the thing. Just go in there, be like, hey, I noticed you're doing a sponsored ad for Scentsy. Scentsy is a big thing over here right now. So Scentsy, because I'm an ex-Scentsy hun, and Jennifer Gwinan was doing Scentsy, and Illuminati honored me this last couple weeks here. So basically, you're doing a sponsored ad for Scentsy. Did you know that Scentsy is a multi-level marketing company? Link them to the income disclosure statement. Yeah, your comment's probably going to disappear. Maybe just keep putting it back. I mean, I wouldn't consider that harassment. As long as you're being nice about it, right? Don't be a bitch. Don't throw shade, throw spade, okay? You can be intelligent and witty and sassy even, but you don't have to be like, right? So just keep that in mind. But yeah, they'll just delete the comment, but there's a lot of us now, so hopefully we can keep trying to warn people, because that's what that's about. So about half of all romance scam reports to the FTC since 2019 involve social media, usually Facebook or Instagram as well, of course. However, since the pandemic began, more people than ever have reported losing money to romance scams. That includes the scams that start with a social media message or friend request. Lovely. Look at this. This graphic makes me want to it makes my head hurt. Makes my head hurt. Look at this. So this is obviously the reports of scams that started on social media, and it's quarterly reports. And as you can see, there's been quite an increase, besides 2017, there was a little dip, and 2019 in quarter one, we started out okay. And then after that, it just went crazy. So as you can see, basically since the pandemic began, right, this has just skyrocketed. So the number reporting a loss, it makes my head hurt to even read this. So 2019 quarter four is 8.2 thousand, and the dollars lost is 44 million. That's insane. It's insane. And then it just keeps going up. 8.8K, and then 15.9 thousand people reporting a loss. That's how many reports they got saying, I've been scammed. And the amount of money that has been lost in quarter 2 of 2020 is 56 million. And in quarter 1, 61 million. Yeah, so since quarter 1, I mean, 100 million. So, whew, that's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. My head hurts. It's a lot of people. It's a lot of money lost to scams. People are increasingly reporting social media messages that offer grant money and other giveaways, supposedly to help people during the pandemic. These scams offer so-called relief to people in need of cash, but scammers are really after your money, your information, or both. These messages can even come from friends who may have been hacked or who don't know the offer is a scam, since scammers often tell people to send their message on to others. As people seek more ways to earn money, reports about MLM, companies, and pyramid schemes. I think we should just lump them all in together, but I do understand why we don't in these articles, because when you just say pyramid schemes, like I said, people don't automatically think of MLMs, which I'm trying to kind of change, because again, MLM companies are pyramid schemes with products. The only difference is that it's not all about like handing your money over. You get something in return. That does not mean it's not a pyramid scheme. That's always their argument, right? They're like, now we give you something, so it's not a pyramid scheme. And it's like, no, that's not how that works. So, all right, listen. I just got an email notification for a scam while I'm doing a live stream about a scam. You saw it here. Love getting those. It makes my job easy when they come right to my email, including blessing circles and other gifting schemes. Like, just, guys, blessing circles? Blessing circles? Oh, Lord. Your girl's now going to go look into all these blessing circles. My head's going to explode. And then I'm going to have to do videos on them now. On social media have increased. So they've all increased. Everything's increased when it comes to scams, and these scammers all suck. The numbers were up a staggering 5-fold in the second quarter of 2020. Many of these recruitment offers reportedly came with extravagant claims about likely earnings, which is always a red flag, right? So here's the thing, is that, no, why did you say some MLM companies? All MLM companies are illegal pyramid schemes. No, well, they're not illegal. That's the problem, is they got the product, so that's why they're not illegal. And anyway, but the funny thing about the extravagant claims, as a lot of people in the anti-MLM community are very well aware of, but for anyone out there who's maybe new to the community or new to my channel or who isn't aware of this, it's actually illegal for them to make claims on how much they earn. So they can't do any claims, especially in an MLM. They can't be like, I make this much money a month at all. It is completely illegal. So, I'm just throwing that out there. If you ever do see someone doing that, it's illegal. Maybe let them know. Say, hey, did you know that you're not allowed to make an income statement? So, because maybe they don't know, right? Because a lot of the MLM companies, the higher ups will tell them to brag about what they make. I know, because I was in 2 of them. So, just keep that in mind. keep that in mind. Let them know. They maybe don't know. Someone on their upline was probably like, you know, it would be a really great idea. What? If you like went on Facebook right now and did a post about your earnings. Oh, well, I thought we weren't allowed. No, it's like totally okay. Just like be careful about how you word it. Oh, okay. You know, like that conversation takes place a lot. So they might not be aware. Someone probably told them to do it, and then they're just following suit and doing it because apparently that's what people do out here is they just follow suit. So, you know, let them know. Just be like, hey, just so you know. Illegal. Some MLM companies are illegal pyramid schemes. Again, that we need to make it so that all are, hashtag all, they survive on recruiting new participants rather than selling products. All of them do. All of them do. It's just that the ones that haven't been caught for being illegal pyramid schemes yet are better at hiding it. That's all it is. They're just better at manipulating, and they're better at hiding that they do this to the world. I mean, one of the ways that they kind of get around the whole income thing is they'll post about how oh my God, this is such an amazing business opportunity. I love working my business from home and I always have everything I need now. DM me or comment for more information. And then when you comment, you're like, more info, please. They'll be like, okay, I'll DM you. And then they make them in your inbox instead. So it's, you know, behind the scenes, hidden. So someone like me can't see it and report it. So that's kind of how they get around that. So it's like the ones that have not been told they're illegal pyramid schemes yet are just better at doing tactics like that to hide that they're an illegal pyramid scheme. That's it. Most people who join an MLM make little or no money with it, while people who become involved with a pyramid scheme typically lose everything they invest. And that is kind of the difference, right? So MLMs are just a little bit better than full-on pyramid schemes because you do at least get something in return for your money. And that is a good thing as well as a bad thing. So it's a good thing because, yay, at least, you know, they're not just taking your money and running off. You at least get a product for it. But it's a bad thing because, again, everything else about it is the exact same as an illegal pyramid scheme, and it ends up being even more culty sometimes, by the way. So it becomes harder to fight because that's their loophole, right? That's the loophole. So, but then also you're like, oh, well, thank God that, you know, people aren't getting as ripped off, I guess. Like, is that a thing? Can you be like silver lining? They're not getting completely ripped off. I guess that's kind of what we're doing here, isn't it? When we say most people who join an MLM make little or no money with it, while people who become involved with a pyramid scheme typically lose everything they invest. Yeah, are we like gaslighting pyramid schemes? I don't know. Anyway, let me know what you think about that in the comments. The many scams that show up on social media may benefit from scammers' low-cost access to entire networks of people. The scammer can hide behind a phony profile, pretend to be someone you know, or even take over a real account. By hiding who they are, they can get into a virtual community you trust, leading you to be more likely to trust them. Mm-hmm. And that's, of course, you know, one of the issues. So here are some tips to help you steer clear of scammers on social media. Let's go through them. So before you buy based on an ad or post, check out the company. Type its name in a search engine with words like or, scam, or complaint. What? Words like or, scam, or complaint? Guys, you need to like edit this. Come on. Never send money to a love interest you have not met in person. I know, we should like not have to say these things, but we have to say these things. If you get a message from a friend about a way to get some financial relief, call them. Did they forward it to you? Probably. If not, tell them their account may have been hacked. If so, check it out before you act. Or that's a thing. Before paying into an opportunity to earn money, Check out ftc.gov/MLM. Don't make it easy for scammers to target you. Check your social media privacy settings to limit what you share publicly. Limit what you share publicly. Well, I should have gotten that memo like 30 years ago. Multi-level marketing businesses and pyramid schemes. We are very, very familiar with this. I have gone through this a few times now. So, is an MLM right for you? If you're considering joining an MLM, know that some MLMs, even ones that aren't pyramid schemes, may not be a wise investment. Other MLMs may not be a good fit for your interests and lifestyle. Here are some tips to help protect yourself against a bad MLM experience. So they do have all of the questions that you can ask. Do you want to be a salesperson? Do you have a solid sales plan? What are your income goals? Can you afford to risk the money and time? And here's the thing, the sad thing is most of the people who do join MLMs, no, they cannot afford to risk the money and time. But there they are for months and months and months in that business, busting their asses off. And then they're lucky if they make $54 a month, Canadian. So that's why I hate them. Do your homework. Make sure you always research the company, research what distributors are saying, consider the products, understand the costs, ask about refunds, read the paperwork, and have a friend or advisor review it. Talk with current and past distributors about their experience in the MLM. Here are some questions to ask. How long have you been in the MLM? Well, I was with Scentsy for 6 months, and I was with It Works for 6 months before that. How much money did you make last year after expenses? Well, my last year when I was in an MLM, I think I made a whole nothing. Even. What were your expenses last year? Nothing. Have you borrowed money or used your credit card to fund your business? How much did you borrow? How much do you owe? Luckily, no. But there are people that have lost their entire life savings and taken out several loans in order to do so. I am just very lucky that I didn't. Do you need to have recruits to make money? And all of them, yes, you do. They will say you don't, but good luck making money without them. Do you see what they do there? It's like you can't actually make decent money unless you have recruits, but then they'll be like, but you don't need them. It's not mandatory. It's another little loophole that they found so that they can be like, see, we're not a pyramid scheme. Again, just loophole. It ends up working out all the same. How many people have you recruited? How many did you recruit last year? Well, when I was with both MLMs, the most people I ever recruited was 1. Oh yeah, I killed it. Woo! Hashtag boss babe. How many of the recruits have left the business? Funny story. The girl I recruited, she left 2 days later. Because she researched the company and it was with It Works. And she was like, I can't even post my link on Facebook because it's a scam on Facebook. What's going on with that? Yeah, for those of you that don't know, on Facebook, It Works cannot post their actual links. It is known as spam, scam. No, thank you, ma'am. Don't put it up. So every time that you go to share your link when you're with It Works, you have to do like all these crazy little things with emojis and whatnot to like put the periods in or, you know, put spaces and then tell people to take out the spaces when they put it in the web browser because they can't just click your link. You know, it's a lot of fun. So, you know, that happened and she was like, oh, I can't even post my link on here. It's a scam. And then she quit. So, you know, just keep that in mind out there in the world. If you're ever thinking of It Works, you won't be able to post up your link on social media because it's a scam. That should tell you something. Don't be dumb like I was. Okay, my upline was like, oh, that's because there's like a bunch of people in here that don't listen to the same rules that like me and Jessica Pearson go by. And so because of that, they like cold message and bugged a bunch of people. And then we got reported as a scam. And you know how Facebook is. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And I didn't ask any more questions because I don't know where my mind went when I joined it. It like disappeared. Something weird happens. You like join one of these things and then you actually become a robot. That's why we call them Hunbots. It's so bizarre. So just, keep that in mind. Red flags, look for them. You join a company and then you can't share your link. You should just leave. My downline was smart for quitting on me 2 days later when she looked into that and realized that. Good for her. If she ever watches this video, you did good, sis. You did good. Thank you for quitting my team. I am so glad that you did your research and left. You should have. I should have left with you. Next time, take me with you. So how many of my recruits left the business? All of them. And then even the person that my upline recruited and put under me and her husband that got put under me, they left. And also my friend I joined under also left, so everybody left. We all left. So, I mean, at least that happened, I guess. What percentage of the money you made came from selling the product to customers outside the MLM? Maybe 10%. Yeah. What percentage of the money you made, income and bonuses, less your expenses, came from recruiting other distributors and selling them inventory or other items to get started? Well, none, because like I said, I didn't really recruit too many people. But just know that in MLMs, that is where a lot of the money comes from. That will be like 50% of your income at least. How much time do you spend on the business? I was working at least 40 hours a week. At least. That's like a minimum. I was doing it like a full-time job. I was constantly on my phone, maybe even more than a full-time job because, you never put down your phone. So you're just always working. Middle of the night, someone ting, ting, ting on your Instagram. You're like, oh, I can make a sale right now. I'm going to get on there. Like, it's awful. And that's also one of the big issues with these companies that I think, I don't know if a lot of us talk about that, where it's like you never turn it off. So burnout is very high. And that's not talked about a lot. I'm actually doing a video soon on burnout. So, stay tuned for that. But yeah, so just, when you're working for an MLM, you're working around the clock. Just like there's never an off time. How much inventory did you buy from the MLM last year? Oh my God. Did you sell all of your inventory? I'm not doing last year, by the way. I'm doing like the last year I was in, which would have been 2018. So it would have been, oh my God. With Scentsy, I swear to God, we spent quite a few hundred. And then, like I said, I was on a live stream with Mike's Thoughts today, so go and check that out. Give him a sub. He is so close to 1,000 subscribers. Go and subscribe. I think we should give him 1,000 subscribers for Christmas. He reacts to the mukbangers and stuff, and he's just such a great guy, and his laugh is absolutely infectious. You will never be in a bad mood when you are watching this man live streaming, I promise. So go and give him a follow. It's Mike's Thoughts with a Z on the end for thoughts. And yeah, so I did a live with him today, and I said on it that I had about $200 worth of Scentsy bars that just like went bad. So there's that gone down the drain. And so man, like that's such a hard question. Definitely spent several $100s on it, and definitely did not make several $100s. So yeah, that was kind of fun to do. That was an extra little bonus that I didn't know I was going to be doing right now that we just did, right? So this is where you get the information about any kind of, all of your consumer information comes from the Federal Trade Commission website or the Better Business Bureau website. So, check it out. Always make sure that you know what's going on with things like this. Stay on top of it. If I had stayed on top of it more, I would not have fallen victim to 2 MLMs. and spent hundreds of dollars on Scentsy to have $200 of it go bad. So, just keep that in mind. I am out here to tell my story with that as an example of what not to do. Don't do what I did. Don't do it. Let me tell you, it is not worth it. It is not worth it at all. And so, yeah, I hope that by, the end of this pandemic, people have not lost millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars. So far, people have already lost over $100 million this year just on scams, and that makes my head hurt. A large percentage of that is MLMs. So, if somebody from high school all of a sudden adds you on Facebook and it looks like they're about to pitch you an amazing business opportunity, maybe just decline. It might just be better. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me. I'm really sorry about all the issues, with the fire alarm. I probably should have waited a little bit longer before starting up this stream again. But, you live and you learn and you grow. So we'll do better next time. And no matter where you are or what you're doing, I hope that you have a fabulous, fabulous day. Take care, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. See, I just can't stop doing it. Just can't.